Yes, hello everyone. Very good afternoon and good evening to all. Guys, please confirm it for voice whether it is audible for you people or not. Godina, please check that in the Telegram group. That is already posted. That is already posted. That drive link is already posted in the Telegram group. You can check that. That's your wish, Dhanush. Has come into the So as coming to today's topic, guys. So today I'm going to discuss about the remaining thing that is about the tables. That is the fourth type of table. How we are going to extend one table and what are the other topics that we are going to discuss for that thing. Then after I'm going to explain you how we are going to work on the applications as well as modules. So that means how we are going to create one application, how we are going to customize that application, and how we are going to create modules in that application, and what are the different things that you are going to possibly see whenever we are working on the application. Okay. Yeah, yesterday's class will upload soon. Okay. No need to worry about that. That will be uploaded. So it will take around um, by tomorrow morning you can see the yesterday's class will be uploaded. Okay. So guys, I do wait for 5 more minutes because students are still joining in the session. So no problem. Just wait for 5 more minutes. Then after I can start the session. Yeah, Harini, you can see the previous classes videos that are uploaded in OneDrive link. That drive link is been shared in the Telegram group. Okay. So after the session also, I'm going to share that drive link once again. You can check that if you are in the Telegram group. Even though yesterday also I have shared that link, you can check it out. You can check that even if you are there in the Telegram group. Satvika is asking something regarding administrative module. So you can directly post a screenshot in the Telegram group. Okay, some of our team will take care of that particular query. Yeah, good evening all. So guys, we will start our session exactly at 6:10. So as coming to today's topics, I'm going to discuss about three things. Okay. One is the continuation of the tables that we have left with one more table type. Okay. That is how we can create an extend table and how we can use that extend table in our instance. And there is coming to the next topics that we need to discuss and we need to mostly focus on. That is how we can create an application and what is the use of application, and also how we are going to create modules and how we are going to use modules. Okay. Rohita, please watch the recordings that has been shared in the Telegram group. Okay. So everyone are ready for the explanation, guys, for today's topics. Everyone are ready? Can we start? Everyone, please let me know my voice is audible or not. Is that clear? Clear, right? Yeah. So let me share the screen and check that whether it is visible for you people or not. Please share the window. Let it share it. Yeah. I think everyone can see the instance. Is that visible for you people? So yeah, definitely. That is very good. All are responding to me. So guys, yesterday we have discussed something like what we have discussed yesterday. The topics that we have covered yesterday, guys. Please let me know. So let me recap that things. Then after I will go to the today's topic. So yesterday, firstly, I have explained about the list. In that particularly, I told that there are multiple things that we can learn from the list view itself. So I have discussed about the different search options in the list view and what is the main use of list view and how you can apply the filters and what is the use of values in the list view, what is the use of column options in the list view. Even though I have told that how you can create your own list view that is applicable for everyone. And also I have differentiated the two things like how we are going to work on the personalized list and how we are going to work on the list layout. So whereas coming to the list layout, that is all about controlling the entire list view of a table. That is for controlling the entire list view of a table. But whereas coming to the personalized list, that depends on the user, that person can edit their own list view. Depends on the person, whatever the columns that he want to see, that can be accessible by that person. He can set that. Okay. So someone of the people are asking like yesterday's recordings has not uploaded yet. So please wait for few more minutes, like few hours, guys, because yesterday there is some technical issues happened. So that will be uploaded by tomorrow morning. No need to worry. Okay. So definitely the recordings will be uploaded. And as coming to the topics that we have discussed yesterday, so we have covered entire things that are there in the list. Then after we went to the form configuration. So there itself we got to know some of the things that are there in the form, like there are sections, there are multiple data types we have, and what are the related links, related sections, how they are going to work, when they are going to appear, whenever we are saving the record, what happens, whenever we are clicking on the submit, what happens. These all things we have discussed in the yesterday's class. As well as I told that how we are going to use one of the data type that is called reference data type. And what is the major advantage that we are going to see after applying that reference data type, right? Yes. So then after we have discussed about some more things like how we are going to work on the dot working, because whenever we are using reference as a data type, we can also perform one of the concept, one of the configuration where we can see the details of a particular table that we select. Okay, that is from dot working. So in that also there are some limits and limitations we need to follow. So what is the best choice? What is the worst choice that we can go for in the dot working. So that we have observed in the yesterday's class. So as coming to today's class, guys, going to start discussing about the extends table, how we are going to extend our own table and what is the use of extending a table. Then after, I will discuss about the applications, how we are going to work on the applications and what is the use of creating an application. Then after, we will discuss what are the advantages if we create an application and why we are going to create modules inside the application. Madhu is asking something. Is the attendance mandatory to get certificate? That you need to ask the support team. I can't tell that it is mandatory or it is not mandatory. You can contact the support team. They will definitely help you out regarding this. Guys, can we start with our today's topic? Please let me know you were able to see the screen or not. Everyone, please let me know. Are you able to see the screen or not? Please give the thumbs up or emoji. Anything is fine. That's great. I got the response. So some of your people are mentioning that I'm not able to see the screen. That means you need to check with your network connection, guys, because my network is perfectly working fine. Okay. Please check your connection and if possible, refresh the page so that you can see the screen that I'm showing for you people. So as for now, I'm in the PDI, right? What is this PDI? Personal developer instance, where we are going to practice our own scenarios that we are going to build and explain the concepts. Now, I told that we are going to start with a topic called extends table. So this is one of the relationship, right? We have observed the four types of relationships, and that particularly we have worked with first one, that is one to many, where we have used reference data type as a one to many relationship. Whereas coming to the many to many relationship, we already discovered and already utilized that particular operation in many to many relationship on the particular tables called roles and groups. There will be multiple roles and there will be multiple groups. Each and every role can belongs to any role. In each and every group can add any role that they want. So that's why we are considering that as many to many. And also we have discussed that one more relationship view, that is database view. So whereas coming to this database view, guys, that is only possible to see for the CMDB tables. CMDB tables. Whereas coming to ITSM, we are working on the task table as for now. But whereas coming to the ITSM, majorly the two tables that we need to work on, that is one is task table, one more is CMDB. One is task table and one more is CMDB. So whereas coming to the base tables, these are the base tables that we have in our instance as well. But so we consider that if we want to see the relationship that are connected with the table CMDB, then we need to go for the dependency view. Whereas coming to our tables that we are working on present, that is task table, incident table, problem table, or custom tables that we created like student demo. So if you want to implement that, if you want to see what are the reference fields acting on that, or how many relationships are there for that particular table, then we can go for the schema map. So that is the difference. Whereas coming to the CMDB tables and whereas coming to the task tables. Okay. So as coming to the last one, that is the major thing that you need to know today. So I'm going to implement that in the instance as well. That is extension table. So why we use this option firstly? So basically, when we are going to use this option is like whenever if any scenario comes, where we want to create a table that do consist of all the fields that are already there in the incident table. So suppose I want to create a separate table for the student issues, guys. I want to create a separate table for the student issues where student is going to be students is going to raise a ticket. Where students is going to raise a ticket. So as for now, we have discussed whenever we are working on the incident table, always I told that. So when employee is coming to us, that person is going to raise the ticket that is going to store in the incident table, right? So now I'm changing the scenario. So where student should want to enter the issue in the instance. Then what is the first thing that I can do? I can directly add the incident table in the student. I can add the incident table in the student, but that is not the use case here. So as coming to the use case, student table should want a separate table where that particular students should want to store the tickets that they have raised. Okay, where that particular students want to store the data of a tickets that was raised by the students. In this particular case, can't create incident table, right? We can't create one more incident table in our instance, and we can't exactly map the fields that are there in the incident table. So we can create that. That is not impossible, guys. We can create that. But instead of doing that, we have one option called extensible. We have one option called extensible. What happens if we do this? What happens if we do this? So what happens if we do this is like whatever the fields that are there in that table, whatever the fields, whatever the configurations, whatever the properties that has given for each and every field in that table will automatically goes for the child table. It automatically goes for the child table. So this how we are going to create a extends table. So now guys, first I will show the example how that is been used in the instance. Now let me take a standard examples like, so the task is the base table, right? Task is the base table. Why we are calling task is the base table is that is not extended from any other table. That's why we are calling task as a base table. Okay, task as a base table. So now let me show you task table first. Going to the all here, I'm searching for tables. Just search for tables here. Then after, let me go to the tables where I can see all the tables from master tables. Okay, where it is going to store all the tables that we create. So now let me search for task table here. So I'm just searching for one table with the name task. Here I can see a lot of tables that has been displayed over here, but I want to see the task table, right? This is the task table. Click on it. I'm just opening the table form of a task table. Okay. So after opening that, you can see guys, I can see only two fields, that is label and one more is name. That means that API name of the label. Okay. The name of the table is task and you are going to see the API name of that particular table is also same. And here itself in this particular table, there are almost 70 plus fields. There are almost 70 plus fields. You can see there are almost 70 plus fields, right? So as coming to the incident table, as coming to the incident table, as coming to the problem table, as coming to the change table that are extended from the task table. Why they are extended is like whatever the fields that are there in the task table that are very helpful for us to use in the incident table, problem table, change table. So now let me show you whatever the fields that are there in the task table will be also visible in the incident table. So now let me search for different table with the name incident, inc, then click on enter. So now I'm opening incident table. After opening the incident table, here you can see guys, I can see the label name, I can see the API name, but here one more field is there, that is extends table. In that particular place, one table is selected, that is task. One table is selected, that is task. So here itself, I told that if we are extending any table in the table that we are going to create, it is automatically inherits the properties of a table, inherits the properties of the table. That means whatever the fields that are there in that and whatever the configurations that are given for that particular fields and what are the additional properties that we are going to change for each and every field, that all will automatically load in the table that we are going to create. So here in the incident table also, we can see all the fields that are there in the task is there over here. But additionally, some other fields also create. Additionally, some other fields also created. Why? Because there are some use cases where we can use the directly, we can directly use the fields that are coming from the parent table. But in some cases, we need some extra information, right? So for that, we are going to create few more fields in the child table also. So here that is only happened over here. Whereas coming to the incident table, whatever the fields that you're so going to see in the task table that are 70, right? I show that. I shown that that is 70. Now you can see in the incident table, there are almost 95. That means almost 25 plus fields are created more than the task table. Okay. So, but this is whatever the fields that you are seeing over here that are coming from the which table? Task table. So in the same way, I am going to create one more field, one more table by extending the student table, where I'm going to store the student activities, guys. Where I'm going to store the student activities. That means whatever the activities that are going to be done by the student, that should be mentioned over there. So my scenario is like, what are the fields that are there in the student table that should be there in that my table, and I want to add some additional fields so that I can store the data very easily. That is my scenario. So instead of creating all the tables, instead of creating a table and all the fields that are there in the student, what I can do, I can directly extend the option of a student table, and I can use that in my new table that I'm going to create. So first, let me show you without extending my table. If I search for my table, whether it is coming or not. So I want to create one table name, that is student activities. In that particular table also, I want to see all the fields that are there in the student. Okay. Let me click on new. So guys, if I give the name, that is student activities. So the IP name is generated in the extents table. If I search for u_student, I'm not able to find my table in the extents table. I'm not able to find my table in the extents table. That means I can't get the data from that particular student table. So to catch the data from the student table, we need to do something. That is, we need to go back to the student table once again. Let me leave this. I'm not going to save the student activities table. Let me search the student table first. Open it. So open the student table. Then after, here in the controls, we have option called extensible. Just enable this option. After enabling this option, saving these particular changes in the student table, it will automatically appear in my extends tables option. Whenever I'm going to create new table, if I want to choose student table as my reference table, that should copy the fields that are there in the student table, then I can choose now. Previously, it was not available. Now I'm going to create one more table that with the name student activities. Now it will definitely appear, guys. See that. Okay. So naming that as student activities. So in the extends table, let me search for u_student. Now I'm able to find the table, guys. Now I'm able to find the table. So this is the main thing that you people need to remember. So if you want to use one table as an extends table, so then make sure that that particular table is enabled with extensible option. Make sure that that particular table is enabled with extensible option that is located in the controls. If that is enabled, then only we can use that table as a reference. Okay, we can use that table as a reference that can be added directly in the extents table and calculate the values. So guys, now I'm not going to create any field in the student activities. Now I'm not going to create any fields in the student activities. Let me click on submit and I will show you. Let me click on submit and I will open directly the student activities form, guys. I will directly open the student activities form. So let me go and do that. Let me search for student activities now. Let me click on the module name and let me open the form. So you can see, guys, it is exactly representing the form that I have created in the student table. It is exactly representing the form that I have created in the student table. Even though you can check the configurations for each and every field also. So I have made student email as read only, Also, I have made the changes for student department as mandatory. You can see that. You can see that, right? So this how we are going to use extends table option. This how we are going to use extends table option. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, please let me know. Is that clear? Is that easy, right? Is that clear? After these activities, can I use the student activities table as another extensible table? Yes, definitely. We can enable extensible option for student activities also. That will act as a parent for different table. That will act as a parent for different table. Please let me know. Data is also transferred. No, data is not transferring over here. Just fields and configurations are transferred. Yeah, most of the people are asking for me to explain one more example. Yeah, let me take one more example. So as I told that I'm going to create one more table called student issues, because where student want to store their issues, whatever the issues they raise, that they want to raise, that will be stored in the student issues table. Student issues table. For that, for that particularly, they need to create one table, right? For that, they need to create a table like an incident table, like a incident table. In incident table, we have an option called short description where I can mention the issue, where I can mention the issue. So same way, I want to create one more table for the students where students are going to enter the issue in that particularly. So if I want to do that, first I need to go to the tables. I need to go to the tables, click on the tables. I need to click on new. And here I need to mention the name of the table, that is student issues. Student issues. So this is the name I want to give for the table where I'm going to store student issues. So the properties of this particular table should be exactly matching with the incident table. That is very easy for me to catch the data, right? So let me search for incident table over here in the extents table so that I can get the properties. If I search for incident, what is happening over here? I can't find an incident table here. I can't find an incident table. So the first thing that I need to do, I don't want to save this because the properties are not coming from the incident table. So let me go back first, save this page. First, I need to go to the incident table. Let me go to the incident table, open that incident table, and make sure that in the controls, the extensible option should be enabled. Make sure that in the control section, the extensible option should be enabled for the incident table. So you can check that the particular incident table is already extended from the task table. Now I'm extending incident table. I'm going to create one more table. That means parent is here in this particular table. Parent is a task table and child is a incident table. Now what happens is like incident table will be the parent and the table that I'm going to create, that will be act as a child. Okay. So incident table will be the parent and the table that I'm going to create, that will be act as a child. Let me click on update. So let me create new table with the name student issues. That should exactly match with the properties of a incident table, right? That's why I have enabled one option called extensible student issues. Let me use extensible table as incident now. Search for incident. Now I got the incident table, click on it, and I'm directly clicking on the submit. I'm directly clicking on the submit. I'm not going to create any field over here. So I can check directly with the student issues table now. So let me search for student issues table. Student issues table, click on the student issues module. It will directly open the list of records from that particular table. Click on new. It will show the exact preview that is available for the incident table. It will show the exact preview form that is available for the incident table. You can see, right? You can see, right? So this how we are going to use extensible option. This how we are going to use extensible option. Is that clear, guys? Is that clear? Now we will do some scenarios where we can identify what are the things that are going to change if I do changes in the parent, okay, or if I do changes in the child. So that is very important, right? That is very important. So here, whenever we are using this extensible option, right, we can't select multiple tables over there. We can't select multiple tables over there. So we can only select one table over there. We can only select one table over there. So now let me go back to the student activities, guys. Student activities. So these particular student activities are coming from student table, right? So let me create one record in the student activities. Let me create one record in the student activities. So let me name that as test for student. Okay, I'm just naming the first name as test for student and click on submit. I have created one record in the student activities. This is the child table for the student table. This is the child table for the student table. Now let me go to the student table and let me show you whatever the record that I have created in the student table is that available in the parent table or not. So now let me go to the all and here I'm selecting students and I got a record, guys. I got a record. So that means whatever the records that are created in the child, whatever the records that are created in the child that also will be available in the parent. Whatever the records that are going to create in the child that will automatically appear in the parent. Automatically appear in the parent. Now let me check is going to work for reverse also. Now let me check whether it is going to work for reverse order also. Like that means if I go for the if I create any record in the parent, is that is going to available that is going to available for me in the child. So let me do that. Check that. Okay. So for that, let me click on new. So here I'm going to mention that as test for student activities. Student activities. I have created one more record with the name test for student activities. Click on submit. Now I am creating a record in the parent. So now I'm going back to the child, that is student activities, to check whether the record is created or not. So let me go back to the student activities and check whether the record is created or not. There is no record created. There is no record created. That confirms that whenever we are going to create any record in the child, that is automatically that is automatically display the record in the parent also. That is automatically display the records in the parent also. But if I create any record in the parent, that won't display in the child. If I create any record in the parent, that won't display in the child. So now we will check for one more scenario whether if it is working for the fields also. Let me check for one more scenario. Is it is going to work for the fields also or not? Okay. So for that, I'm just creating one field in the student activities, guys. So I'm going to create one field in the student activities and I will check whether that is available in the parent or not. Okay. So let me click on new. So let me create the field fastly from the form layout. That will be easy for me to create field. Here in the string, I'm mentioning the name as student activities. So I'm mentioning the field name as student activities, guys. So let me click on add. That is added successfully. So let me drag this one to the top so that we can find it out. Okay. So let me click on save. Now you can see I have created one field with the name student activities in the child. In the child. Now let me go and check whether the same field is going to create in the parent or not. Whether the same field is going to create in the parent or not. For that, what is the thing I need to do? I need to go to the form of a student table. I need to go to the form of a student table. Now bring the form of a student table. Click on new. So there is no field. So let me check that in the form layout also. There is no field. There is no field over here in the available section also. There is no field with the name student activities. So let me test. Let me test that in the reverse order also. Let me create one field using, so one field in the student. Is that is going to be appearing in the child or not? That is in the student activities. For that, I'm going to create one field in the student form layout. So now I'm going to mention the name it as testing the student activities field. Add it, click on save, close it. Now you can see guys, one more field is created with the name testing the student activities field. That is in the parent. So I'm going to check that whether this particular field is going to available in the student activities also or not. So let me go to the student activities table, click on the student activities records. Let me open the form. So if I go for the bottom, I can't find that. If I go and check for the available section, whether it is available or not, let me check that in the form layout. Yeah, guys, it is available now. It is available. That confirms that. That confirms that. So whatever the field that we are going to create, whatever the field that we are going to create in the parent, that will be available in the child. Whatever the field that we are going to create in the parent, that will be available in the child. But whatever the field that is going to be created in the child, that is not available in the parent. Whatever the field that is going to be created in the child, that is not available in the parent. Is that correct? We have done with two scenarios, guys. Everyone got the clarity? Any issues from your side? You want to know anything from this particularly? So let me explain that once again. Suppose if you are working with records, what happens? We have two things. One is parent and one is child. That is student and student activities. So whereas coming to the record, whatever the record that you are going to create in the child, that is in the student activities, that is going to be available in the parent as well. That is going to be available in the parent as well. So, but whenever we are going to create any record in the parent, whenever we are going to create any record in the parent, that is not going to display the record in the child. That is not going to display a record in the child. But whereas coming to the field, that will be reverse. That will be reverse. How means whenever we create any field in the parent, that will be available in the child. Whenever we create any field in the parent, that will be available in the child. But if I create any field in the child, that is not available in the parent. If I create any field in the child, that is not available in the parent. Got it, guys? Is that easy? Everyone got it? Is that easy? Very easy, right? Please say yes or no, whether you got the concept or not. Is that clear? Any doubts from this particular topic, guys? Extents table? Any doubts? Any doubts? Uh, Kumareshwar, that is about the record. One is about the field, one is about the record. So guys, meanwhile, everyone please try to fill this form because I think I have shared this form in the previous session, but no one is filling this form. This is the feedback form. Everyone should fill this form. Everyone, please fill the form. That is very important. Okay. So don't miss to fill the form. In the previous to previous session also, I have shared this particular link, but no one is filling this particular form. That is very important. I told that. So everyone, please fill the following form that I am sharing in the Q&A. That is a feedback form, guys. Okay. So everyone should fill that. Now there are almost 800 plus students in the class. So I need to get at least 700 plus responses. If you're already filling that form, already filled that form, no need to worry. If you're not filling that, please fill that. Definitely, Deepak, please go with the Telegram group. In that, one drive link is there. You can catch up with the sessions. Okay, guys, that is done. Okay, so if you're not filling the form, please fill the form, guys. If you're already filled, so please concentrate on the class now. Okay, so just now we have discussed one topic with the name extents table, right? That is the fourth type that we want to discuss. Now, let me tell you one more extra things that we need to know about this particular concept. One more extra things that we need to know about this particular concept, that is extents table having, that is dictionary override. That is dictionary override. So why we are going to create that particularly is like I will tell you. So before that, let me share one more link for you people. That is Telegram group link, because most of you people are still asking the Telegram group link once again. Everyone, I have shared the Telegram group link, so you can check that. Someone are spamming this particular message. Please share the Telegram. So don't spam. I do check the chat box. I'm going to definitely reply for that. Okay. So I have shared that Telegram group link. If you want to join, you can join. If you are already joined, no need to worry about that. Okay. So guys, let me continue. So the extension of this particular topic, the extents table that we have discussed, that is dictionary override. So what is this dictionary override and where we are going to use that? So here we have two things, right? We have two tables. One is students and one is student activities, guys. One is students and one is student activities. But here, student is a parent table and student activities is a child table. But whatever the properties that are coming from the student table, that are all displayed over here. Whatever the properties that are coming from the student table, that are all displayed over here. But if you see, guys, I don't want student activities to mention the um, student department. I don't want student in the student activities. The student should not enter the. So that is not a mandatory field, basically. Okay, that is not mandatory field. click on the new button to create one of the record to override the configuration of a table that is coming from the parent table. Okay. So to override the configurations that is been provided by the parent table, so we are going to use this option called dictionary override. So we are just creating a record over here. Click on new. Now you can see, guys, now you can see here the base table is student table and the child table is student activities. The child table is student activities. The column that we are working, the field that we are working is student department. Student department. So what is our issue, guys? What is our issue? We need to override the configurations that are coming from the parent table. So that is student department is mandatory whenever, sorry, student department is actually a mandatory field in the student table, but that should not be a mandatory in the student activities. For that purpose, I'm just overriding the configurations that has been provided from the student table. For that, I need to click on this override mandatory option, click on submit. Then after, click on update once again. So you can see, guys, you can see now I'm in the student activities table only. But here the student department field is not a mandatory field. Now here the student department is not a mandatory field. But whereas coming to the student table, let me refresh the page also so that you can confirm. So even after refreshing the page, the student department is a mandatory field in the student table. Student department is a mandatory field in the student table, but that is not a mandatory field in the which table, guys? In the student activities table. Is that clear, guys? Is that clear for you people? Everyone, please let me know how this overriding is working, dictionary overriding is working. Oh, sorry. Screen is not displayed. So let me share that once again. Yeah, guys, let me explain that once again. Okay, let me explain that once again. Something happened and the screen got removed. Confirm, guys. After deleting from the student department itself, not coming. Guys, please confirm whether my voice is audible and even the screen is visible for you people. Even the screen is visible for you people. Is it okay now? Everyone can see the screen. Is it okay? Yeah, now it's all good, right? Yeah, definitely. So now let me go back and remove the changes that I have performed and I will explain that once again. Okay. So let me go back and remove the changes. So what I am explaining is, guys, what I'm explaining is like whenever we are working on the two tables, right? Parent and child. So now I'm opening parent table, that is student table. So I'm opening the form from the student table. So you can see the form of the student table. Here in the student table, the student department field is a mandatory field. The student department field is a mandatory field. But that is also same for the student activities also. If I go for the student activities, let me go that, open that in the next tab. So if I click on new, so even in the student activities, the field that you're going to see, student department, that will be same. The student department is having the same level of configurations. If I want to change that, what is the best chance that I can take? What is the best chance that I can take? I can go to the configuration, dictionary configurations. For that, I need to right click on it and I can click on config dictionary. Then from here itself, I can remove this option to not make a mandatory field for the student department. Not making a mandatory field for the student department for which table? Student activities. If I click on update, then it will automatically remove the student department as a mandatory field. So if I remove in this way, it will automatically remove that particular option in the student record also. It will automatically remove that option in the student record also. That means whatever the configuration changes that we are going to do, whatever the configurations that we are going to do in the child, that is also applicable in the parent. That is also applicable in the parent. That means we need to override the configuration of the parent to do changes in the child. We need to override the configuration of the parent to do the changes in the child. For that, what is the best chance we can take is like that we can, what is the best chance we can take is like we need to use the option called dictionary override. We need to use the option called dictionary override. So how I'm going to use that? So now let me make a field mandatory for the student department once again. I'm just making the field mandatory for the student department once again. Config dictionary. Click on that. Make a field mandatory. Update. So if I do any configuration changes in the parent, then automatically it do applies for the child. And if I do that in the child also, it do also applies for the parent. Let me refresh the child page, student activities. You can see the student department is now a mandatory field. Even that is possible. That is same in the parent also. That is same in the parent also. But as for our scenario, whereas coming to the student activities table, that is means this table. Whereas coming to the student activities table, this particular field should not be a mandatory field. This particular student department, that should not be a mandatory field. For that case, what I'm doing, I'm just clicking on the field name, right click on it, go to the config dictionary, Then after, scroll down. At the last in the related sections, we will have something called dictionary override. At the last in the related sections, we have something called dictionary override. So these helps us to override the configurations that are coming from the parent table. This particular option helps us to override the configurations that are coming from the parent. So in the parent, the student department is a mandatory field, right? So for that particular field only, I'm going to override the configurations from the child table. For that, I have right click on the field name from the child table. Then after scroll down, you will see one tab with the name dictionary override in the related links. So just click on the new button over here. Directly display. We are working on the student activities table. And the base table for this student activities table is student table. And the field that we are working on, that is student department. The field that you are working on is student department. And the configuration that we need to override, that is mandatory, right? So we need to click on this checkbox, override the mandatory configurations that are coming from the parent. Click on it and update. Submit and update. So after doing that, guys, you can see now I'm in the student activities table. Here, the student department is not a mandatory field. The student department is not a mandatory field. But whereas coming to the parent table, that is student table. If I refresh the page also, the student department remains mandatory in the student table. But that is not a mandatory field in the student activities now. Got it? Everyone got it? Telegram group link is shared once again in the Q&A. You can check that. Everyone, please confirm me, guys. Everyone got the concept? How this dictionary is override is working? How this dictionary override is working? Please let me know. Everyone should respond. Everyone should respond to me. Everyone, guys, please. Everyone got the concept? Please give the thumbs up, guys. great. That's great. So after that, I told that we are going to discuss one more topic that are from data modeling. So after that, we are going to discuss one more topics that are from the data model. So one is applications, one is modules, one is applications, and one more is modules. So let me explain you how these applications are going to create it and how these modules are going to create and how we are going to apply roles for that application and how we are going to apply roles for the module as well. Okay. So if you have any doubts in the regarding previous sessions classes, we need to watch them. If you want to watch the recordings, you can go to the Telegram group. In that, one drive link is be shared already. Even though after the session, I'm going to share that particular link once again, so you can check out there. Okay. So could you please clarify what is the exam that we have to finish before 15th? Likita, I don't know about that. If you want to know about that, please contact the support team. Otherwise, you can mention that in the Telegram group itself, right? Yeah, definitely. I know that yesterday class is missed. So I will make sure that that will be added by tomorrow morning. Okay. So can we go with the next concept, guys? That is data modeling. Can we go with the next concept that is data modeling? Sorry, your lectures are enough to prepare and write the CS exam. Nandu, actually that depends on you. Okay. Basically, I'm going to cover all the concepts that are very necessary for the CSA. But what happens is like the more you practice, that is more that is going to helpful for you people. Depends on you itself only, because the more number of times that you're going to practice some concept, that is going to help you only. Guys, can we start with the next concept, that is data modeling? Everyone, please let me know. Start working on the next concept, that is data modeling. Everyone, please try to reply in the chat box Q&A. Delete the field in the child. Parent also will be deleted. You can check that, Shiva. Please check that so that you can plan something. Everything that I will do on the screen, it will take a lot of time, guys. That's why I will explain few scenarios over here. And whatever the thoughts that you're getting, right, you can do that in your instance. That is very easy. Yeah, can we go with the next topic? That is data modeling, where we are going to create applications and how that application is going to appear for multiple users and how we are going to apply a role for that application and what is the use of modules, why we are going to create modules. Guys, please say yes or no in the chat box. Everyone are ready? Let's go for the next topic, right? Please show some enthusiasm. That is very important for me. Plus, we are taking the session in the online, right? It is virtual. So if you are feeling bored or if you are not able to understand what I'm explaining, no one listen the class. Even though if you are not replying to me, even that feels like I can't tell anymore to you people. Okay. So now we are going to discuss one more topic, that is data modeling. So whereas coming to this data modeling, that is very easy, guys. That is very easy. So whereas coming to this data modeling, we have only two things to discuss, that is applications and one more is modules. One is applications and one more is modules. So you all know already in the first session itself, I told that, right? Whenever you're clicking on the all menu, whatever the things that you're seeing in that particular all menu is an application. Whatever the things that you're going to see in the all menu, that is nothing but an application. So in each and every application, then there are some set of modules. If I click on the application, we are going to see lot of modules. So each and every application is going to contain multiple modules that is going to work on the different tables. That is going to work on the different tables. That depends on us, whatever the tables that we want to display. Okay. So this in the same way, guys, in the same way, whenever we want to create our own application, we need to work on the modules also, and we need to define what are the things that are necessary for that particular module. So whenever I'm going to explain this particular application concept, so I will always check and I will always show for the user perspective also. So let me go for the users first, and let me show you how the user is going to see this particular application. Okay. So as coming to this particular demo user, so let me go for the demo user. Let me check whether any role is there for the demo user or not. So I have a user with the name demo user. For that particular user, there are a lot of roles. Okay, there are a lot of roles. Let me remove that. So I have removed a role, guys. I have removed the role for the demo user. Let me click on save, update it. So before I'm going to create one application and before I'm going to explain how we are going to work on the application, let me open the user perspective so that everyone can understand very easily what happens if the role places to the application. What happens if the role is not there for the application? Okay. So let me click on impersonate user and let me click on demo user, impersonate that particular user. So as coming to the demo user, there is no role for this user. As coming to the demo user, there is no role for this demo user. That means this particular person is going to see the default applications. This person is going to see the default applications that are provided by the system. Okay, that means instance. So whatever the application that here this person is seeing, that are the default applications. Now let me go back to the system administrator profile. Let me go back to the system administrator profile. For that, I need to click on end impersonation. So each and every profile have some level of access where they are going to control the level of applications and level of modules they are going to see, right? So as coming to the ITIL role, I have already mentioned that if you give the ITIL role, that person is going to see the modules that are very important for the ITIL role person. So that means if I want to give any application, that means the role is very mandatory for to give the access for that application. So in that particular case, what is the best thing that I can do is like whenever we are creating any application, we need to create one role also. We need to create one role also. So what happens if we won't create any role? We will see that first. Then after, I will create one role and I will give that role to the application as well. Okay. So let me click on all. And to create the application, that is very easy, guys. To create the application, that is very easy. We have to click search for application menu in the all. Just search for application menu in the all. So you are going to find out application menus module under system definition application. Click on that. Then after it will display the records list of applications that are available in our instance. There are almost 171 applications available in our instance. 171 applications that are available in our instance. That means I can see whatever the application that you want to see, that are almost 171 applications are there here. There are 171 applications are there here. So all the application names are mentioned in the application menu table. Okay. Suppose if I want to create any table, any application, then I need to click on new. Then I can start creating the application. So I just want to name the application, that is name of the application should be cohort 2. Okay, I'm just mentioning the name of the application, guys, cohort 2 PIP. So I'm not going to give any role and I'm not going to give anything here over here. Okay, so I'm not adding anything over here. I'm just clicking on the submit to create the application. I have created one application with the name cohort 2. Let me check that whether it is created or not. Search for my application cohort 2. So my application is created with the name cohort 2. So whatever the application that do we create in the application menu, that will be available in the all menu. So that should be available in the all menu, right? So let me click on this all menu and search for my application name. So before I'm going to search for my application name in this particular all menu, I want to ask a question, guys. How many of you people are thinking that that particular application is going to visible in the all menu? How many of you people are thinking that this particular application is going to be visible for me in the all menu? How many of you people are thinking that this particular application is going to be visible in the all menu? Not display, not display, it is not visible, it will visible, it will visible. Okay. So I got off of answers. So most of the people are saying that it won't be visible, and most of the people also saying that it will be visible. So we will clarify the doubt from both the sides. Let me go and search for the application in the all menu. We go to the all and search for the name application that we created, that is Cohort. So if I search for my application name, what it is happening over here, it is telling that there is no results for the application that you created. There are no results for the application that you created. So now let me tell you why this particular application is not visible in the all menu. So whenever we are creating any application in the application menu, guys, so that is mandatory to create a module for that application also. It is mandatory to create a module for that application also. If you're not creating any module for the application, then consider that we can't find that application. Consider that we can't find that application in the all menu. So open that particular record once again, open that particular record once again. Then after, you can see one section with the name module, one section with the name module. This is also a related list, guys. This is also a related list. So you can see with the name module, I have got one section with the name module. So I'm going to click on new. So whenever I'm clicking on the new for the module, there are a lot of things to be discussed over here. Please observe the screen very carefully. If I click on new, it will ask for to give the name for that particularly. So I want to see the list of records from the student table. List of records from student table. Okay, we have student table, right? We have one table with the name student. So I want to see the list of records from the student table whenever I'm clicking on the module name. That is list of records from the student table. So that is under which application this particular module should display. That is cohort 2. And I'm not mentioning any order over here. And also I want to mention some hint over here. It displays the list of records. From student table. Okay. So I'm just mentioning hint for this particular module so that how this hint is going to appear for you people. I want to show that. So for particularly, I'm mentioning one hint for this particularly so that you can identify how this is going to applicable. Okay. So whereas coming to the module also, I'm not giving any role over here. I'm not giving any role over here. Just click on the link type. Then after here itself, there is one mandatory field. There is one mandatory field. What it is showing is like it is mentioned in front of table. It is mentioned in front of table. That means whenever we are creating any module, we need to must mention the table. We need to must mention the table. So for that, we need to click on the table field and choose the table that we want to display the list of records. Okay. So I'm searching for student table, right? So let me click on student table. So here, guys, here I have selected the student table, right? That is correct. I have selected the student table. That is correct. But we have one more option also, that is link type. That is also very important. Please observe the screen, guys. So this is also very important. So what is this link type do? That is like, so whenever if you click on link type, it will automatically display a list of records. Okay, it is automatically select the option with the name list of records. But that is not only the case to use for the link type. That is not only the case to use the link type. Whenever if you click on this link type, whenever if you click on this link type drop down, there are a lot of things to be discussed. Okay, there are a lot of things to be discussed to want to click on the module. That means whenever we are clicking on the module, if you want to open the list of records from any other table, we can choose list of records. If you want to open the new form, if you want to open the new form whenever we click on the module name, then we can choose different option, that is new record. Other than that, if you want to run a report, if you want to run a report whenever you click on the module name, then you can go with the run a report option. Or if you want to display the single record, if you want to display the single record from a table, we can go with the different link type that called single record. Or if you want to open any URL, if you click on the module name, then you can paste the URL also. You can paste the URL also. So here itself, you can find lot of link types. Here itself, you can find lot of link types. I will explain two, guys. I will explain two. So then after the session, please try all the link types that are available in the module. Okay. So specifically, I'm going to work on the list of records, that to display the list of records from the student table. And then after, I will explain one more link type also. Okay, let me click on submit here. So for my application, that is cohort 2 VIP, I have created one particular module that is with the name of list of records from student table. List of records from student table. That is fine. So whatever the configuration changes that you do on form, the first thing that we need to do is like to save or to update that. To save or to update that. That is very important. Click on update. So now if I search for the application, with the name cohort 2, I'm able to see that. Okay. So let me search for that in the filter navigation. Let me search for cohort 2. So guys, you can see, right? If I search for cohort 2 VIP application now, I can see there is one module inside that application that represents the list of records from student table. So I have already mentioned one hint also for that particular module, right? I also mentioned one hint of that particular module. So if I place my cursor, on that module, it will automatically display the hint, guys. If I place my cursor on the module, it will automatically display the hint. Okay. So these how we are going to work on the modules and applications. So now let me explain you one more link type, so that will be easy for you to people remember how we are going to create modules. That will be easy for you people to understand, and easy for you people to create modules in the application. Okay. So here I'm going to show the different way, guys. So previously when I have showed that, I went to the all menu, then after I have searched for the application menu, then I have went to the application that I have created. So now I'm going to go with a different way. That is, just go to the all. From here itself, I can search for the application name. And if I just place my cursor on the application name, it will show the edit option. That we call as an inline edit. So if I click on this inline edit, it will automatically display the same page that we have opened from the record, from a application menu table. So it will open the same form page that is coming from the application menu and the application that we created. That is with the name of cohort 2 VIP. So guys, let me create one more module so that will be easy for you all people to remember how we are going to create modules. Okay. So here I'm going to use different link type. Okay. So if I go with the list of records, I have used as list of records. Now I want to open the new form of a student table. So for that, I'm mentioning the name of student form. So I'm not mentioning anything over here. Directly, I'm changing the link type over here, that has new record, and go with the table that is student table. Click on student. Okay. So let me submit this and save this. Update. So after this done, then I can directly search for the all application menu once again. That is already searched in the filter navigation. You can see one list of records module is there, and one more module with the name student form. So if I click on list of records module, guys, it will display the list of records from the student table. It will display the list of records from the student table. So guys, let me click on that once again. If I go to the all, And if I click on the list of records from student table, then it will show the list of records from the student table. And if I click on the if I click on the student form, then it will automatically open the form of a student table. It will automatically open the form from the student table. So this how we are going to work on the applications as well as modules. This how we are going to work on the applications as well as modules. So everyone got the creation of the application and modules, guys? Everyone got the idea how we are going to create an application, how we are going to work on the module? Please let me know. Everyone got the idea how we are going to create one application and how we are going to create one module for us? Yeah, let me repeat the steps once again, okay? Because some of the people are asking that. So let me go back to the creation of the application, how I'm going to create the application. For that, I need to go to the all. From here in the filter navigation, I'm going to search for application menu. So I can find this particular module with the name application menu under system definitions. Just click on the application menu module. Then after it will show the applications. Sorry for this, guys. Sorry for this. Let me complete that once again. Okay. So to create an application, we need to search for the application menu in the all. Okay. Just search for the application menu in the all. Then after click on application menu, that is available under system definitions. After that, we can click on new to create a new application. We can click on new to create a new application. Let me randomly create one application with the name XYZ. Okay. This is my application name XYZ. If I click on submit, the application will be created. XYZ. But what happens is like if there is no module for this application, I can't find that in the all menu. If there is no module for this application, I can't find that in the all menu. Let me see that. Let me show that. So go to the all. Here I'm searching for XYZ now. Here I'm searching for XYZ. So guys, that's confirmed that whenever if you create any application, that is mandatory to create the module also. That is very mandatory to create the module also. So that is very important. Okay. That is very important. If that is done, we will do one scenario, guys. We will do one scenario how we are going to use roles for the application as well as modules. That is also very important. Everyone got the creation of the application as well as modules, how that is created, how that particular application is going to be visible in the all menu, and how we are going to create modules and what are the different link types that we have. Got it? So please give the thumbs up. Everyone should respond to me, guys. How to create module. How to create module, that is very easy. So open that particular application once again. You will see one related link here. You need to click this new. Then start creating the module. So we need to mention the name of the title of the module. So I'm mentioning that as 1. Then after, one thing is mandatory whenever we are creating the module, that is to select the table. So we need to select the table to display something in the module. So from here, I'm going to select the incident table to see the list of records from incident table. Okay, click on incident, submit. So after creating one module for the application, that particular application is going to be visible for me. XYZ. If I search for XYZ, I can find that in the all menu. Okay. So now my question is, guys, if I want to open this particular application in the demo user, if I want to open the same application in the demo user, what is the thing that I need to do? If I want to open this particular application in the demo user, what is the thing that I need to do? Can anyone try to tell that? So as I said, there is no role for the demo user. So if I want to give this access, whatever the application that I created, that is cohort 2, right? So the application that I created, cohort 2. So if I want to show this application for the user, for the demo user, then what is the thing that I need to do? Assign this role to the demo user. Which role I need to assign? Can anyone tell me the role? So here is a simple thing, guys. Here is a very simple thing that everyone should remember. So if I go to the impersonate user, let me go to the impersonate user and search for demo user and click on impersonate. So without giving any role to the demo user, I can find that application. I can find the application that I created. You can see, right? Cohort 2 application is visible now. I can find my application, that is cohort 2. And even I can find the demo application that I created with the name XYZ. So that confirmed that if there is no role for the application, that particular application is going to be visible for all the users in the instance. Okay, that confirmed that if there is no role for the application, that particular application is going to be visible for all the users in the instance. So let me go and impersonate one more user to confirm that. So let me click on this and impersonate another user. So let me impersonate my user. So I have created with the name Sandeep Gujja, that is my user, guys. So let me open that person also. So to show that whatever the application that I have created, that will be visible to all the users. Okay. So reason behind that is there is no role for the application. If there is no role for the application, whatever the application that we created, that will be automatically accessible by all the users. You can see. So let me search for that. Code. I can find the application code 2 as well as I also can find the application XYZ. Okay, both the applications are visible. This is how that particular role is going to work. That means if there is any role, that role is required to the user to see the application. If there is no role for the application, then entire users in our instance can able to access that application. Now I will going to create one role. I'm going to create one role and also I'm going to specify that role to the demo user so that only demo user can see that application. Okay, only demo user can see that application. For that, let me quickly create one role. Roles. Click on roles. Click on new. So let me name the role as cohort role. I'm just mentioning the random role name, guys. That is cohort role. This particularly helps us to give the permissions for cohort application. This is for giving access for cohort application. This particular role that I'm creating now, the main purpose of this role is to give the access for the cohort application. Okay, so click on submit. Okay, after clicking on the submit, what is the first thing that I need to do? I need to go to the application, that is cohort application. Let me search for the cohort application. So this is the cohort application. Click on inline edit. So from the roles, I need to give the role that I have created. From the roles, I need to give the role that I have created. That is cohort role. This is the role that I have created, cohort role. Add that one. So now we have giving some permissions to the role that is cohort to VIP application. Okay. So now for this particular application, cohort 2, this particular role is required. Now for this particular cohort 2 application, this role is required, that is cohort role. If there is role for this particular application that is not able to accessible by any user, first we will see that. So I'm updating this. Let me impersonate to the demo user first. And let me show you I'm not able to access the application now. I'm not able to access the application because there is one role for that particular application. You can see, guys, in this particularly, I can't find any application with the name cohort 2. I can't find any application with the name cohort 2, but I can see XYZ application. I can see XYZ application because there is no role for the XYZ application. But as coming to the cohort 2 application, we have given one role with the name cohort role. So if that particular one, the demo user want to see the application, then the must thing that demo user need to have is the role that is required to access the application. The role that is given to the application, that is very important to give that to the demo user also. If that is not given, then what happens? This person can't access the application. So if we are giving that role to the application, that is already restricting the permissions so that that role is required to access that application. So we will decide the role that we given to the application. Also, we will give that to the demo user so that we will confirm after giving that role that demo user also can access the application. For that, I need to go to the users. Let me click on users. This is the demo user. Open the demo user. From the roles, I need to click on edit. So from here, I'm going to add role. So that is cohort role. This is the role that I have created, and I have given this role to the application as well. So and now I'm giving this particular role to the user also, demo user, so that demo user can also access the application. Now demo user have one role with the name cohort role, and that also having with the application with the cohort 2 application. So now let me impersonate to the demo user role. Click on the impersonate user. Go with the demo user. Click on the impersonate user. So whatever the role that is necessary for accessing the application, if that is role is been available to the user, then automatically whatever the permissions that are given to that whatever the role, that role provides the application details for the user. So now you can see without even searching, I can find this cohort 2 role that I have given to the user is giving the permissions for accessible the application, giving the permissions to access the application. So this is how we are going to determine the roles. That's how we are going to determine the roles for the application as well as module. Got it, guys? Everyone? Got it, guys? Everyone, please let me know. Everyone got the concept? So here one more twist is there. Let me do that as well. So let me help out to clarify that as well. So some of you people are asking about the previous recordings. So that will be uploaded in the Telegram group. Okay. So one drive link will be shared in the Telegram group. For that, you need to be in the Telegram group. So I have shared the link for the Telegram group. Please join that. If you're not there in the Telegram group, please join in the Telegram group. Then you can automatically see the recording links that has been shared in the Telegram. Okay. So guys, everyone got that? Everyone got that? We have some more things to be discussed over here. So this demo user is going to access the application as well as modules. Is going to access the application and as well as modules. Depends on the role that we are giving. If we give the role for the module also, that role is required for the demo user to access the module as well. If you are giving any role for the module also, that role is required to access the module as well. That means if I give any role to the student form, if I create any new role, and if I assign that particular role to the student form in the code to application, then whatever the role that I have added to the student form, that is required to access that particular module as well. If there is no role for the module, then I can see the modules inside that application. If there are roles for the modules also, then we need to give the roles for the user for accessing the modules inside that application. Okay, accessing the modules inside that application. So now, if I click on any module, guys, if I click on any module, what is happening over here? If I click on any module, what is happening over here? I can't find the data inside that module. Whereas the system administrator, if I click on list of records from the student table, it is displaying the list of records from the student table. But as a demo user, if I click on the list of records from the student table, it is not displaying that. It is not displaying the data inside that table that is there in that table, because this particular module get the data from the student table. But as coming to the demo user don't have permissions to see the data inside that particular module. Then what is the best thing that we can do? That is the best thing we can do, guys. Can anyone tell me? What is the best thing that we can do here? Can anyone tell me? Can you repeat the question? Okay. So here, guys, here, what is happening over here? So exactly, let me refresh the page and let me show you. So as a demo user, now I am in the instance, right? Now I'm in the instance as a demo user. I can see the application as well as I can see the modules. But if I click on the module name, I can't see the list of records from the student table. I can't see the list of records from the student table. It is restricting for me to access that. It is restricting me to access the data inside the table. So what is the best thing that I can do so that I can get a access the data inside that module? If I go for the admin, guys, let me end the impersonator. And let me search the same thing in the admin. So Cohort 2 application is the name. If I click on list of records, what is happening over here? It is displaying the list of records. It is displaying the list of records that are coming from student table. But as a demo user, if I go to the impersonate user as a demo user, if I click on the module name, what is happening over here? I can't find the records. That are coming from the student table. So what is the best approach that we can give for the demo user so that this person can access the records? What is the best approach that I can give for the user so that this person can access the records? What I can do, guys? Some are thinking that elevate role should be enabled so that this person can access, and some are thinking that different things. Okay. Override security permissions. How? We need to add in roles. Okay. Some are giving that. Add the admin role. Wow. Super. If I add the admin role, then automatically everything will be visible. How it is? How is that list of records are coming when you search? It is not coming when I am searching as a demo user, but it is coming when I am searching as a admin. Why? That is the question. So for every table, there is one role, right? For every table, there is one role. For student table, what is the role, guys? For student table, what is the role? Everyone, please answer the question. What is the role for the student table? Student table. What is the role for the student table, guys? That is u underscore student underscore user. So this role help us to get the data from the student table. This particular role is going to help us to get a data from the student table. So how that is going to work? Basically, whenever we are creating a table, automatically one role is created, right? Automatically one role is created. So basically that role will help us to work on the table. That role is going to help us to work on the table. That may be on the records, that may be on the fields, that may be on the accessing everything in the tables. That may be accessing on everything on the tables. So if you want to access, if you want to access data inside that table, then the role that I need to give, that is table role. The role that I need to give, that is table role. So for that, so I need to go back to the system administrator profile, click on end impersonator, click on the all. Here I'm going to search for the users. So let me click on the users. The user that we are working on, is demo user, right? Let me click on the demo user. So let me go to the roles here. So here the default role that is given to the demo user is cohort role. That is helpful for accessing the, to access the cohort role. So, but as coming to this, accessing the data inside the table, I need to click on edit and I need to give the role that is given to the table. Okay, that is u underscore student underscore user. This is the role, helps us to get a data inside the table. Let me click on save. Click on update now. So now let me impersonate the user. Now let me impersonate the user once again to show how the demo user is going to see the data. So as a system administrator, if I click on the module name, under the application that we created, I can see the list of records from the student table. Now the student table should also available to the demo user, because we have given one role that is for demo, that is also given to the demo user. So we need to give one role that is also given to the demo user. For that, I need to click on the user menu, click on impersonate user. From here, I need to select the demo user, click on the impersonate user once again. Now I'm in the demo user view. Let me go to the all and search for my application that is already visible over here. That is cohort 2 VIP application. Now if I click on the list of records, it will display the list of records from the student table. Because whatever the table role that is necessary for me to access the records inside the table or fields inside the table, that I have given to the demo user. Got the clarity, guys? Got the clarity? Everyone, please let me know. Got the clarity? Got the clarity? Is that easy, right? That easy, right? Very easy. Is that easy, guys? Please let me know. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to share the link once again in the Telegram group after the session. Okay. Naidu, what is the best thing that you can do is like, please watch the recordings and practice it. Then you can remember. Okay. But tricky, but yeah, nowadays easy, sir. Yeah, that's great. That's great. So guys, that's all for the day. If you have any kind of doubts, you can stay in the session and you can ask your doubts. Otherwise, you can leave the session. Thank you all for joining in the session. And if you have any kind of doubts, you can stay and ask your questions. And if you don't have doubts, you can leave the session, guys. So thank you all for joining in the class and have a nice day. And meanwhile, please fill the recording links. Sorry, please fill the form that I'm sharing in the chat box. Okay, that is very important. Everyone should fill the feedback. Okay. So if you have any queries, you can stay in the session. We have 10 more minutes to discuss. Otherwise, you can leave the session, guys. And someone is asking the query. Sana is asking something. I have completed the Welcome to Salvation course. Self not yes, but I haven't received the micro certification. Sana, what you can do is like just contact the support team. They will definitely going to help you. Or try to mention that in the Telegram group. Sir, please explain the few more fields in the link type. Yeah, each and every link type have some uniqueness that you can practice. So for example, so let me take one more example to work on the link type, guys. Okay, so someone is asking, so let me do that. So let me create one more link type for the cohort. Okay, so let me go for the application cohort. So let me click on edit. So here I'm going to create one more module using one more link type. Let me create one more module using one more link type. So here I'm using different module, that is entirely different module. You can see that. That is, I'm naming that as student details. Student details. I'm mentioning the module name as student details. So here I'm going to specify the module as, I'm specifying the link type as separator. I'm going to specify the link type as separator. I'm just mentioning the link type as separator. So after selecting the link type as separator, it is not asking for me to do anything. Let me click on submit. Let me click on submit. So after giving that separator, let me give some order over here so that it will make some sense. Okay, so let me give the order for the separators, how that should look like. So let me mention this as 100, save it, and then after I want to show the module with the name student form, that for that I'm mentioning the order as 200. Then I'm changing the order for the list of records also. That should display the last. Okay, so after doing that, if I update this, how the separator looks like, please see in the screen, guys. Let me go to the all. So you can see, I can see the application name. Inside that, one separator has been there, that is indicating the student details. If I close this separator, I can't find the details that are coming from the student table. I can't find the details that are coming from the student table. So if I want to see the details, I need to click on the separator. Then I can see the modules that are there in the application. So this is the work of separator. So in this way, guys, in this way, you can work on all the link types that are available in all the link types that are available in the modules. Not support link, support mail, Sana. Any more questions, guys? Yeah, if you don't have any doubts, you can leave the session. No problem. So is there any difference in now learning instance and developer instance? There are a lot of differences. You can see, observe Ujjwala. So whereas coming to the developer instance, in that there is no pre-configurations that are been loaded over here. There is no configurations that are been set over here. But whereas coming to the now learning instance that you are requesting from the now learning, there are some configurations that are already loaded, and that will help us to solve the courses. That will help us to solve the courses, because if you see in the personal developer instance, if I search for platform user, I can't find that user. I can't find that user. But if I want to go with the same thing, that you can find that in the now learning instance. That user you can find that in the now learning instance. Whatever the course that you're doing, just request the lab, because for each and every course, there will be some set of things that you need to do. So that's why they will ask for to request a lab instance. Okay, that's why they will ask for you to request the lab instance. So if you request the lab instance, what happens? Some of the pre-configurations will be loaded to that instance, and that will are going to help us to solve the entire course. Okay. Um, Please go with the link that I'm sharing now in the Telegram group, and you can watch the recordings, guys. Any more questions, anyone? We have 5 more minutes to go for the session ending. Thank you all for joining in the class once again. So, and also we will also meet in the tomorrow's class to discuss something more in the administrator. No problem, Manideep Singh. Yeah, you can do that. Sana, you can do that. Guys, if you want to see the recordings after the session, I'm going to share the link once again in the Telegram group, and I'm also going to pin that. Okay, so please check that and go with the recordings. Okay. More doubts, anyone? Sir, I'm getting the error in welcome to service now module list and filter task. It is Manideep, what you are doing is like, I think you are doing that as a system administrator profile. Using system administrator profile, you are doing that task. So what you can do is like, go with the platform user, try to impersonate the user, and start doing the task using a platform user. Then you can solve that. Preeti, that depends on the portal mail ID that you have given for the AICT portal. Whatever the portal mail ID that you have given to the AICT, that mail ID is required to create now learning account and to do the tasks that we are expecting to do. More questions, guys? Any more questions? use some task. Kiran, what you can do is like whatever the things that I'm explaining in the class, right? You can try to do that in the developer instance. That is more than enough. So no need to give any more task for you people. So that is more than enough to work on that, so that you can understand the concept very clearly. Just go and watch the recording. Then after practice the same thing what I taught in the instance. That's it. It is more than enough. Prathamesh, I don't know about that exactly, but attendance is calculated based on the time duration that you are staying in the session. Okay, that I know. That's it. If you want to know anything more about that, you can contact the support team. So my friend is investment. I mean, that is not possible. If that person want to join that, you can join in the cohort 3. So the cohort 3 registrations are open. You can join over there. Mandeep, if you are facing that kind of issue, what you can do is like just click on the user menu and click on logout. Click on logout. Then after go to the Now Learning website. So Now Learning tab and click on open my instance. Then it will open the administrator profile. From there, you can go to the user menu and navigate to the platform. You can check that in the AACT portal. So thank you all for joining in the class, guys. I will meet you tomorrow, and we will continue with the new concepts that are going to help us to work on the administrator. So thank you all for joining the class. Bye everyone. If you have any kind of doubts, you can post out in the Telegram. So bye once again.